Good day. I'm Mike James, and this is Parkitect. Welcome back, everyone. So glad you could join me today. Got a great show for you this week. We have got Alpha 6. Not a whole bunch added, but some really significant things. They didn't add a ton of stuff, a lot under the hood, but what they did add, really awesome. Hang on tight. Alpha 6 is coming right at you. All right, so here we are in Alpha 6. First thing, we've got bumper cars. Now, we've had a bumper car mod before, but now in Alpha 6, officially supported bumper cars. Great addition to your park. But you know what's even better? We've now got a better finance window. You know, the financing really hasn't been in the game, and honestly, it still isn't. But now we have a finance window where you can break down, are you making money on your food? Are you making money on your drinks? Are your shops selling things and making money, or are they costing you money? This financial breakdown, I'm sure, will get more detailed as time goes on. The devs are trying to keep things simple, so I think they were hesitating, holding back on making the financial system any more complicated. I think they've come to the realization, or maybe this has been their plan all along, that we needed something in there to track what was going on with our parks. And this edition, as well as another edition, is really going to help put that strategy part into this strategy game. Here's the next part, loans. You can now take out loans. Now, you still can't go bankrupt, but you can go into the negative, and you can play not to go into the negative. That's fine. The additional loans really start setting up the idea of maybe being able to make scenarios where you can actually go ahead and have a goal and have a real challenge in the game. The game right now, because you can't go bankrupt, there's no real challenge enforced on you, but you can still make your own, and I think the additional loans is a big part of that. Now, the full changelog added hydraulic launch coaster. Awesome. Always great to have a new kind of coaster. The bumper cars, the loans, added maintenance cost to the actual attractions. That's something that we hadn't seen before. I don't know if you had noticed, but now they do have maintenance costs. Added thunderstorms and rain ambience. We'll get back to that. They made the employee paths colorized based on the zone. Also, there's some audio improvements in the finance overview we talked about. Performance has been improved on large terrains. Mac OS using the metal renderer or whatever that is, and they fixed a couple bugs, especially people getting stuck inside the utility buildings. That one I had encountered a couple times myself. One of the things that they did add that I mentioned here was rain ambience. Now, I will tell you, if you have the no clouds mod, it will get darker when it rains. However, you don't actually see all the rain ambience. So I turned off some mods and waited for it to rain, and it took forever. I mean, it just took forever. It didn't want to rain in my park. But here's what we have. We have the rain ambience. Now, you'll notice right now it's just getting dark, and then something amazing happens. A lightning strike! Did you see that? Lightning strike. They added lightning strikes to the game. Now, this is really interesting. I don't know how much your park goers are going to appreciate it, but hey, now we've got lightning strikes. Boom! Let's see it again. Number 3. And yeah, there's not really 3 different ones. It's just one over and over again. So yeah, we have rain ambience. Now, let's take a look at a park I've been working on. Here's the entrance. I used some of those new palm trees. You know, they're growing on me. I still really miss my old palm trees, and I hope they make a comeback. But they did fix the shark, as you can see here. And here's the entrance to the park I have been working on. And if we take a look here, I've gotten, of course, as soon as I start recording, we get some rain. Okay, so, but you'll notice I have, I've gone ahead and I've used the Main Street buildings to make a little bit of a Main Street. Now, this is something I've done a couple different times as things have changed throughout the game, but right here, I think this is my absolute favorite Main Street set. I've got all the pieces up there on Parkitect Nexus so you can just use them, but you just start off with the base building, and I think this right here is the base building. And you can add these pieces here, you can add these pieces either to the top or in the middle. You can add them on the second floor. I've got pieces that can go in between different things. I've got the outside corners here. You can see a couple different outside corners. We've got the inside corner. Right now, only one inside corner. But you put them all together, and it only takes a few minutes to throw together a Main Street. Now, you have to lay down your paths and everything, and that's what I'm in the process of doing right here on this Main Street. But I think right now, it looks great. One of the things you may notice is we've got these tulips here, and I've decided to start using those. You know, I love the flowers in the flower boxes, but one of the problems is they are only a 1x1 square. And currently, I think it was Anarchy or one of the mods that lets you put the flowers down in not the rigid 1x1 square. That doesn't work in the current version, hasn't been updated yet. So these tulips are kind of, you know, holding their spot for right now. I do have a little, can you see this guy here? That's an invisible guy. You see him? I'm not sure what's causing that, but I get these invisible ghost people occasionally, and they don't move smoothly. Also noticed another bug in the game, and it could be something with a mod. As I always state, I have a lot of mods, so things do happen. But the game, if I was to load a game right now from this game running and just load another game, even the same one, my performance goes down by about 90%. I start getting like 5 or 6 frames a second. And I'm thinking somewhere along the line we've got a memory leak. And not sure. I haven't talked to the developers about it, but it works and acts a lot like a memory leak, where there's a portion of memory that is not being correctly unassigned when you load a new park. Now this park, I think this looks great. You notice I've got the smooth paths. I used my path covers. You should have watched those videos already. If you haven't, go check them out. How to use path covers to make the rounded corners and make everything look a little smoother. I use that all through this area. And I decided to make a Main Street, you know, with a carousel in the center. I think that's just great. Then I took that coaster that we worked on for the contest, and I put it right here and just plopped it down. I added a path going out here to get into the next section. Now this isn't all finished yet. I wanted to add a path over here, but the problem is this part was just a little too low and I didn't want to redo the whole coaster, so I just added a tunnel going under. I think that looks great. And this part isn't complete, but I did plop down a couple buildings you may be familiar with. Of course, my Ferris wheel. You all recognize the kiddie train ride. I think you should see that. Of course, we have got our restrooms. There's our Weenie Hut Jr. Here's a rest area I made. This rest area is made using primarily parts out of the dining set. And I just made that as a place people can go and relax. And here is my arcade. It's called Emporium because we don't have the manual signs any longer. Hopefully those will make a comeback. And remember, in the back of that Emporium, in the back of that arcade, you see the arcade machines in there, we put a souvenir shop so people can come out with prizes. Here's our teacups. Beautiful. Our, I guess you call them the simulation rides. Got a couple of those inside this building. This used to be Parkitelli's. Now it's just snacks and candy. And here, of course, is our corner coffee shop. That's as far as I've gotten with this building set, but I did want, or building or park or whatever you want to call it, I did want to take a moment to show you about the new things that came out in the last version, and that is the back entrances. You notice in between this building section here, I have a rest area for my workers and a depot where all the supplies for this entire area will come into this depot, and it comes in through the underground piping. You can kind of see, if you look here, you see that pipe coming in? Piping comes in, delivers everything there, and then I have a worker path because I couldn't get a worker path. I didn't want the workers walking all over the main path, so I just took a worker path from where they came on another area, made it underground so they just pop up right here. You might see that guy just coming out. So all this is being fed by this here, and I've made that its own zone. Also, if you look over here, this section of the park, these Main Street buildings, you know, each of these buildings has a shop in it. And right here, this is all worker paths, and they all go in these back doors. And there's also back doors going right here. So this is one section. If we look over here, you see this? This is another section right here. This section right here actually delivers, this part right here delivers to all the shops and everything inside this coaster area. And then this area right here delivers to these Main Street buildings here. And if we look underground again, you can see here is the entrance. All of my employees come through this entrance. They come out here, and then they can go underground over here to this side, or underground over here to go to this side. And that's one of the things you want to do when you're building your setup now, when you're designing your parks. You want to go ahead and make sure that your workers have a way of getting around without walking on the regular paths. And you may notice that I have underground path here that goes to the left side, and it goes off to the right side. That way my workers, if they're over here, they can come back over here, even though we do have everything zoned. If we look here, there's my zones. I have Main Street Zone 2, Main Street Zone 1, Zone 4. Zone 5 is just this, nothing really going on there. I just wanted to have a zone there. This is for just the main walk here, and so the mechanic can repair that. Zone 3 is this, and Zone 4 is here. And the great thing about working with these zones is you can assign your workers to work these zones. See, here's my janitors. I have some for each zone. And you can also leave some unassigned if you just want some walking around. And for my actual haulers, you'll notice I have haulers for Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 6. Nothing really for Zone 4 because there's nothing to haul to Zone 4. And I do have one that I've left, I wanted to say, I guess unassigned. So that'll, that's a great way to keep your workforce spread out efficiently. I really love some of these additions and the way that I don't have to have people haul all the way from the back now. And I think this park is coming along really nice. Keeps raining. Might have to add a couple more roller coasters over here. Now that we have this section built, I can add out here, and then we can start going off into the farther corner. Now, one thing I didn't start when I made this is I didn't make a mass transportation system yet, and that's something you want to think about. I will probably go ahead and put something right here because this is still very near the entrance to the park, and I could put like a railroad or something so that I can get out to the farther sections of the park and people don't have to walk that whole way. But for right now, I love this Main Street, and I think it really is working well. And keep in mind, you can make it any color you want, and you can modify it yourself using the couple pieces I've uploaded onto Parkitect Nexus, and just make it your own, including whatever colors you want. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you watching the videos. Appreciate all the subscriptions and the comments. And until next time, I hope each and every one of you has a good one.